Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host Red. I got a video today from Wonny. What crazy Chinese things are going on now?
Have you been sleeping? You have? How dare you? Are you asking to look ugly? Come on, let me see those eye bags of yours.
Exactly. Look at this.
Let's fill them a little bit more, shall we? Don't worry, as long as you don't touch them, they won't pop. I promise.
They can pop? How would they look after they pop? It's just like loose, flappy skin under your eyes now? Like, what?
Oh boy, do I have a crazy one for you guys today. Because last time we talked about eyelids, but this time it's the opposite. We're talking about eye bags. People across Asia have been eating up the eggo style aesthetic for years now, and many influencers in China are even injecting filler to get a more pronounced under eye bag look.
Why? Like, I don't get it. Why do you want eye bags? It's definitely a sign of aging majority of the time.
When I say that, you probably assume that they go to a doctor.
Oh.
But no. They do it themselves at home after watching a 1-minute Douyin tutorial, which ultimately ends up with millions of people getting the—
Why would you do something to this? Like, I wouldn't. If there was a DIY or DIY kit to do something for my face that has to do with needles, I'm probably not gonna do that. Yeah, I need professionals.
The bubble eye effect. This is where your eye bags start inflating and bulging out to the point where at any moment, it can literally pop. We're talking about the infamous lying silkworm injections, or in Chinese, 窝蚕, and it looks exactly as it sounds. Silkworms under your eye. The whole idea is based on eggo style, the tiny little puff right underneath your eyelid that naturally appears when some people smile. Normally, it's subtle. But because platforms like Douyin and Xiaohongshu have this magical ability to take something that's completely natural and then crank it up to the maximum overdrive until it goes viral.
I'm telling you, man, China is so much more cooked than us. Like, they just have so many more people. And as soon as something goes viral, like, a quarter of the nation's already doing it, and a quarter of the nation is more than all of the United States. Like, that's how many people are doing all of these crazy things. So when trends happen over there, whew, a lot of people get affected.
Instead of a small under eye ridge, people are ending up with these giant swollen bubble eye bags that look like they're one sneeze away from exploding. Many netizens started joking that it looks like there's a small caterpillar right under your eye. I mean, it low-key looks satisfying to pop though. Imagine if you just take like a toothpick and just like poke it. Sorry. And the worst part is that it's not just a side effect of appearance, because some people are ending up with infections, ulcers, and—
Infections make sense. You did this at home with probably unsanitary needles and hands and no gloves. Yeah.
eye bags bursting.
I can see that.
I mean, sometimes the filler in the eye bag starts drooping downwards and even spread all over your face. But let's talk about what people were actually trying to achieve in the first place. Lying silkworm or under eye bag procedures that make your eyes appear larger, softer, and more youthful. You either look—
It doesn't look that good. Comment down below. Does that look good to you guys? All three of those pictures.
5 years younger, or you haven't slept in weeks.
原本是要和我的卧蚕说拜拜的，可是因为种种原因，我的卧蚕它无法拜拜，那就继续戳吧。有些机构不要再拿我的卧蚕当失败案例了，虽然说它真的很失败。
Stop doing that! I'm like scared it's gonna pop on camera or something.
不然我真的生气了。我的眼袋明天就要去把它搞掉了。 哈哈哈哈哈！最后来合个影吧。
Yeah.
When it's natural, most people don't even notice it consciously. It's like one of those features that are just working in the background quietly. But Chinese influencers don't do quietly. For people who don't have a naturally pronounced eggo style or under eye bag, cosmetic procedures started offering ways to create it artificially. The most common—
Even men are doing that. I'm just like,
method involves injecting filler right under your lower eyelid to create that raised appearance. And the most frequently used material is hyaluronic acid.
of course.
My best friend. It's one of the most common fillers used in cosmetic procedures. Minimally invasive, recovery is relatively quick, and in many cases, it can be dissolved if something goes wrong. Sounds great, right? But the problem is that many of these beauty clinics are buying these products online. Real medical fillers are expensive. I mean, there's a reason why these medical clinics charge what they charge.
Makes
so
sense.
instead, people start using counterfeit products to inject into their eyes. I guess you could call them Temu injection.
Again, I don't mind using Temu here and there for gadgets and stuff like that, but just put stuff in your face. Stop it. Get some help, people.
Online marketplaces became suspiciously filled with these cheap filler products, and people scavenged to find the best deals with the best discounts. Now, genuine hyaluronic acid products come in sealed packaging, and these counterfeit versions usually have some very strange packaging. Like, look at the lettering and the registration of some of these, which is how we end up with the bubble eye bag cases. You get these pus-filled eye bags that sometimes look like it's a
Yeah, it definitely does look like it's pus, which is not a good thing.
Transparent bubble that's about to burst. This has been happening everywhere, and it's mainly due to the counterfeit products as well as the injection method of these beauty clinics. They usually inject way too much and expect that a couple days later it will settle. Except, not everybody reacts to it the same, especially for unlicensed products. So what starts to happen is that the liquid inside your eye bag starts bloating and starts spreading to different parts of your face.
I mean, just him describing that stuff, it makes me cringe in my eyes. It's just like, oh my jeez. I don't want to go blind for beauty.
这只眼是眼尾肿，这只眼是眼头肿。今天的眼头好肿，今天我们这边出太阳了。本来我心情可好了，但是当我拿起手机看到我卧蚕的那一刻，就那一刹那，不要做，真的别做。这个卧蚕项目我真的不推荐。
This is no joke because these chemicals are so close to your eyes when they're being injected. One mistake can literally make you go blind. Which leads us to
I would assume so.
Case of Miss Liu from Hangzhou. Now, Miss Liu wasn't trying to become some experimental cosmetic pioneer. She wanted the same thing that thousands of people wanted: lying silkworm eyes. That's it. So she decided to get these under eye bag filling procedures at Hangzhou Medical Aesthetics Clinic. And that same night,
alright guys, note to selves. Don't go to Chinese medical clinics. Like, you don't know. Like, you just don't know.
everything started going wrong. She started experiencing severe inflammation, allergic reactions, so naturally she wanted the filler dissolved as fast as possible, which should have been the beginning of fixing the problem, but instead, during the attempts of trying to fix the filler, the staff members squeezed her under eye bag so aggressively that it popped. Yeah, her eye bag literally bursted open. And that wasn't the end of it, because after multiple dissolving procedures, ulcers started developing around her eyes, and according to Miss Liu, right after the first dissolving procedure, the clinic aggressively netted the area around her eyes and made things even worse. The force caused tissue damage, and attempts to dissolve the filler weren't
effective. You can see that like pussy thing right under it.
Effective either. So now she's dealing with tissue damage, failed corrections, and just all sorts of different complications. And
I mean, I admit, being a woman sucks. Like the how much they have to care about beauty and doing all these things to themselves because beauty sucks. But they also do it to themselves because most men aren't looking for freaking caterpillar silkworm eye bags, right? Like, that's the other side of it. Like, women are doing this to themselves because they think this is what the beauty men want. Men want beauty. Not that beauty, though.
Then in April of 2025, more ulcerations started appearing in the corner of her eyes. So at that point, she was just referred to a hospital in Shanghai, and the doctors diagnosed her with severe inflammation due to a unknown product. And now she says that the corners of her eyes have been stuck together permanently. Her vision became limited and her whole face continues to be swollen. Meanwhile, the clinic reportedly argued that these allergic reactions are relatively common and they can easily be controlled with medication. Look, I'm not a lawyer, but if somebody's eye tissue starts ulcerating after multiple correction procedures, I feel like we've moved way beyond the just take some medicine stage.
We're on the we fucked up.
That's just my theory. The clinic also offered around 150,000 yuan in compensation, so roughly 25k. But Miss Lu wasn't satisfied with that offer. I mean, given everything that she'd gone through, it's not hard to understand why. To make matters even worse, the manufacturer of the injection stated that there wasn't really a solution for this specific type of allergic reaction. And this is exactly why doctors constantly warn people about these eye bag procedures. The skin beneath your eyes is incredibly thin. I mean, it's packed with blood vessels and tissues. One mistake can literally make your eye bag start imploding. So, influencers took that advice and decided to apply it themselves. Literally. Because you see a bunch of these botched procedures and these horrifying cases and stories everywhere.
I mean, if medical clinics are fucking up, what makes you think you can do better? What the fuck?
Online. People start thinking, nah, why would I pay a trained doctor when I have Douyin? Yep, we've reached the point in the timeline where people are voluntarily trying to give themselves eye bags. This caused a whole DIY self-injection culture that started appearing all over Chinese social media. People started buying hyaluronic acid injection packages online, and then they started injecting themselves at home because they were trying to save money and thought that clinics were going to be too expensive. Others had previous cosmetic work that they weren't happy with, and somehow reached to the conclusion that they would be a better doctor than the doctor. Yeah, maybe.
This is so crazy, man. This is once this gets into the US, like where people are just doing injections themselves and stuff, it has to get to the US. Like, I don't think it's here yet. I feel like sometimes China's behind us in certain trends, and then sometimes they're super ahead of us in certain trends. I think this one, they're ahead of us.
Maybe I should start doing medical procedures in my apartment. Douyin and Xiaohongshu became flooded with these videos of influencers constantly posting content about eye bag fillers.
This is so crazy. Like, they're constantly posting content like them injecting themselves into their faces. This is... oh.
At-home injections, DIY procedures, people sitting in front of cameras doing these injection tutorials in less than 60
face injections hurt. I did them in Korea. I don't understand how you would do them yourself.
seconds. The comments would be full of people asking, where do I buy these products? How do I get them? Does it hurt? How much does it cost? Not whether if they should try it or not. And why would you get your advice from an influencer anyways? It's gone to a point where...
yeah, when I went to Korea, I did the stem cell thing. They took my blood, took out the stem cells, and then injected back into my face. And I was just like, that was probably one of the most painful things I've ever experienced ever in my life. And these people are doing it themselves?
People would literally hire other people to come do injections for them, or even just tell their friends to come over and they'll do it for them for a small price. I mean, there was this 40-year-old woman who decided that she wanted to look younger. Pretty normal goal. Unfortunately, the method she chose was significantly less normal. She wanted to save money to do an injection herself at home, so she purchased something called a water light injection online. And after buying it, she started watching Douyin tutorials on what to do. And after watching the videos, she just started injecting it onto her face in her own place. And then she went to sleep. And then the next morning, she felt some weird pain and swelling in her right cheek. So she went to get it checked out. And it turns out that one of those tiny needles broke and ended up inside of her face. And it wasn't staying still. It was moving around overnight. Like, first it started moving from her eye bag all the way down to her cheekbone, and then she said she couldn't even like open her mouth or even blink because of the pain. And doctors quickly warned that if the needle started moving up to her nerves or her blood vessels, it could be really bad. So they quickly removed it from inside her mouth and took it out. So not only is the risk of counterfeit injections already bad enough, but manually...
man, I'm not even getting these things done, and I'm just like, woo.
Operating on yourself, most people can't even give themselves a haircut. And
yeah.
Unfortunately, the DIY crowd wasn't the only problem, because one thing Chinese influencers just don't like hearing is that not everybody is a suitable candidate for these procedures. When your under eye area is relatively small when your face is relaxed, but then becomes super large when you start smiling, getting these fillers is generally not recommended for those kind of people. The best candidates tend to be people whose under eye bags are small when their face is relaxed and still small when they're making facial expressions. And people couldn't accept that. But there's always a workaround, right? Why not make yourself suitable for it by using another part of your body, because injections aren't the only way. Some people wanted a more permanent, pronounced result, so people started transplanting artificial tissue into their eye bags. This
Artificial tissue?
involves making a 2 to 3 millimeter incision right under the eyelid and transplanting artificial tissue into the area. But the thing is, if it's not absorbed by your body, you're pretty much cooked. Because there's this viral case on the news of a woman who decided that fillers just weren't enough. It just didn't give them the look that they wanted. They wanted something that was a bit more exaggerated and pronounced. So they took another part of their body and put it into their eye bag. This
I mean, it happens pretty often in medical procedures. Like with my arm, they were like, you lost your nerve. We can cut your leg, take the nerve from your leg and put it into your arm. And I was like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? Like, you just cut Joe to go pay back Sam. That doesn't even make sense.
This woman's name is Xiao Ho, who somehow ended up in a completely different rabbit hole. Xiao Ho wanted the egg cell so badly that it involved her getting tissue from her booty and transplanting it
I
into
figured
her
most of the tissue would come from your booty.
eye bags. We are truly living in fascinating times. Xiao Ho had always been dissatisfied with the fact that she didn't have these naturally obvious under eye bags. After researching her options, she chose this hospital that had apparently really good ratings. The surgeon recommended that you take some meat from behind there and just put it in your eye bag because it would make more sense since it's body chemistry and it'll absorb better. The doctors
Logically sort of makes sense.
explained the process, and she knew there would be a scar, but she thought that this would give her that look that she'd been wanting for her whole life. And unfortunately, she ended up with these swollen bubble eye bags. Not only that, but it was asymmetrical, bulging out, and obviously not anything like the result she was promised. And what makes this even more painful is that Xiaoho actually took a online loan just to pay for this. So now she's in debt. I'm gonna take out a loan. Oh, for a car? No, silly, for my eye bags. And after getting the procedure, her boyfriend not only broke up with her, but also told her that her eyes looked ugly and even
Damn, triple whammy. Took out a loan, it got botched, and then your boyfriend dropped you? Damn.
like sarcastically joked that she should just keep messing with them. At this point, Xiaoho just really wanted answers. She wanted accountability and somebody to explain what happened. So she went out to the hospital and they basically ghosted her and blocked her. Peak customer service. And of course, once the journalists and the media got involved, the hospital's attitude completely changed. Suddenly, discussions were happening and they were willing to cover the costs. The hospital eventually offered corrective procedures and said that they would handle the expenses, but they also wanted to wait 3 months before operating again. And the reason is because they need the tissue to start softening first. Operating too early would potentially make things even worse, which makes medical sense, right? Or rather, they're trying to finesse her after the reporters left. Obviously, after being ignored and blocked by a beauty clinic, she's not just gonna take their word for everything. The hospital claimed that they had always intended to help and that there had always been a plan. They just needed some time and they just needed to wait. She smelled the cat from a mile away, so instead she got them to sign a written agreement and then she would later get it fixed. Once again, influencers are taking an aesthetic that originally came from makeup techniques, then permanently applying it onto their face. If you think about it, it is actually pretty scary how people easily...
It's pretty much Instagram filters gone awry, right? If women here can make their Instagram filters look like them, this is the trend. I think it's going to happen sooner or later in the United States because women really want to look like their filters. They know they don't look like their filters and they feel a way about it.
They get trapped in this cosmetic procedure loop. They get their eyes done, which starts revealing other imperfections on their face, which they want to get fixed as well. Even though those imperfections have been there from the start, I mean, it's just a placebo effect at this point. Honestly, if you guys somehow end up with these bubble eyes, even watching this video, just please, let me pop them for you.
Hell, I'm just waiting for this to get over to the US, I guess, because sooner or later it's gonna be, right? Because beauty and women just tend to love it. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And catch you guys next time. Ciao.